Ever wondered about the dynamics of a relay race? The speed, the strategy, the handoffs, it's a whirlwind of athleticism. But amidst all that, a question often lingers: where does the slowest person go in a relay? It seems counterintuitive, right? You'd think you'd want your fastest runners up front, maximizing your lead. But the reality is a bit more nuanced, a bit more strategic, and a whole lot more interesting than you might expect. We're diving deep into the world of relay racing today, exploring the logic behind runner placement, and ultimately answering that burning question: where does the slowest person actually fit into the relay puzzle? Now, before we jump into specific strategies, let's quickly recap the basics of a relay race. We're talking about a team event, typically 4 runners, each covering a set distance. The goal, of course, is to be the fastest team to complete the entire race. But it's not just about individual speed. It's about teamwork, smooth transitions, and strategic positioning. Think of a relay race as a carefully choreographed dance. Each runner has a specific role, and the success of the team depends on how well they execute their part. And that's where the placement of the slowest runner comes into play. The common misconception is that you want your fastest runner to run the anchor leg, the final leg of the race. This makes intuitive sense. They're your strongest runner, they can make up ground if you're behind, and they can solidify your lead if you're ahead. But what if I told you that's not always the best strategy? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The optimal runner placement depends on a variety of factors, including the specific strengths and weaknesses of each runner, the length of the race, and even the overall strategy of the team. Let's break down some common relay strategies and see where the slowest runner might fit in. One strategy, often used in shorter relays like the 4x100 meter, is to place your fastest runners in the middle legs. This is sometimes referred to as the sandwich approach. The idea here is to maximize your speed during the middle portion of the race, creating a significant lead that your other runners can then maintain. In this scenario, the slowest runner might be placed in the first or anchor leg. Why? Well, in the first leg, the runner is starting from a stationary position. They don't need the same explosive speed as the runners in the later legs, who are already moving when they receive the baton. So, a slightly slower runner can often get a good start without sacrificing too much ground. And in the anchor leg, while speed is certainly important, experience and composure are also crucial. The anchor runner needs to be able to handle the pressure of finishing the race, especially if they are in a close competition. Sometimes, a more experienced, though perhaps slightly slower, runner is a better choice for the anchor leg than a faster but less experienced runner. Another strategy, more common in longer relays like the 4x400 meter, focuses on pacing. In these races, endurance becomes just as important as speed. The goal is to maintain a consistent pace throughout the race, avoiding any sudden bursts of speed that could lead to fatigue later on. In this scenario, the slowest runner might be placed in the second or third leg. Why? Because these legs often involve running a longer distance on their own. They are not receiving the baton from a runner already in motion. So, a runner with good pacing and endurance, even if they're not the fastest on the team, can be valuable in these legs. They can maintain a steady pace and conserve energy for the later stages of the race. Now, let's talk about the term slowest for a moment. It's important to remember that slowest is relative. Even the slowest runner on a relay team is likely a very fast individual. They're just not quite as fast as their teammates. And that's okay. Every member of the team plays a vital role, regardless of their individual speed. In fact, sometimes the slowest runner can be the most valuable member of the team. They might have exceptional baton handling skills, or they might be incredibly consistent and reliable. These qualities can be just as important as raw speed, especially in a relay race where smooth transitions and consistent pacing are crucial. So, to finally answer the question, where does the slowest person go in a relay? The answer, as you've probably guessed, is, it depends. It depends on the length of the race, the specific strengths and weaknesses of each runner, and the overall strategy of the team. There's no single answer. The best placement for the slowest runner is the one that maximizes the overall performance of the team. It's also worth noting that the concept of the slowest runner can be a bit misleading. Relay teams are often composed of runners with different strengths and weaknesses. Some runners might be faster sprinters, while others might be better at longer distances. Some might be more experienced, while others might be newer to the sport. The coach's job is to find the right combination of runners and place them in the positions that will best utilize their individual strengths and create a cohesive and successful team. Ultimately, relay racing is a team sport. It's not just about individual speed. It's about teamwork, strategy, and communication. And the placement of each runner, including the so-called slowest runner, is a crucial part of that equation. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.